Salam, hello everyone. I hope you and your families are in the best of health and spirits, especially during this time that we are living in right now. So to begin my video, ever since I posted about living with PCOS, I got a ton of questions from women asking me about my experience living with PCOS, its symptoms, its effects on me, and all of that. So I wanted to sit down and share my experience and have a vulnerable discussion to discuss how crippling this condition can be physically, but also mentally and emotionally. And so, in a 2 to 3 part series, I wanted to not only begin discussing what PCOS is, its symptoms, its effects, but also share my personal journey to sort of create this safe space for women who might not have that support system at home or within their friend circles, or women who might just be too shy to talk about it. And so, just a disclaimer before I begin, I am not a medical professional. Everything that I tell you today is based upon my independent research and my experience living with this condition. So, let's begin. Now, what is PCOS? PCOS stands for Polycystic Ovarian Syndrome. It is a condition where there is a hormonal imbalance in women of reproductive age that causes an array of symptoms. These symptoms include excessive hair growth, irregular or prolonged menstrual cycles, acne, development of ovarian cysts, weight gain, and also failure to ovulate, which can lead to infertility and or difficulty in getting pregnant. Now, if PCOS is left untreated, it can cause gestational diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, cancer, sleep apnea, depression, even anxiety. And so, based on my research, a diagnosis of PCOS is made after a series of blood work to check your hormone levels, but also if you show two of these three symptoms. These three symptoms include irregular or prolonged menstrual cycles, the development of ovarian cysts, and excessive hair growth. So when I was diagnosed with PCOS, I had all three symptoms. I had the irregular menstrual cycle, I had the excessive hair growth, and I had the ovarian cysts. I was 14 when I had my first menstrual cycle, and a year and a half-ish passed, and I hadn't gotten it at all, which caused a huge concern for my parents and I. And so we visited 2 or 3 different doctors, and each of them said that I had PCOS. Now, at that time, I had no idea what PCOS was, what it meant, but I do remember that each of them said that I was extremely overweight. And if I had not taken care of that issue, then it would be harder for me to get pregnant. Now, I was 15 at that time, but I knew at that young of an age that that is a huge no-no in our community, in our culture. Because at a young age, our girls are fed this narrative that we have to be moms, we have to have kids. Our health can say one thing, but we have to be mothers, and we have to be good mothers at that, which is so hard and such a toxic mentality that I hope to tackle in my next video. But anyway, moving on. I listened to my doctors, and I lost the weight, and because of that, my symptoms were regulated. I was good. However, in 2012, I was 16, my parents dropped the bomb that, hey, pack up all your stuff. We are headed to Houston, Texas. Now, I think my Instagram handle says it all. I love New York. I'm born and raised in New York City, man. I'm a diehard Yankee. But the transition from New York to Houston was, I think, the most depressing time of my life. You can ask my sister. I would cry in her lap literally every single day and beg to just move back to New York with every chance that I got. Because New York is comfort for me. My friends were there, my family is there. And for me to uproot all that I knew, all that I found comfort in, and move to Houston, it just sucked for me. And I turned to food. I didn't have many friends, so I turned to food. And I gained about 40-ish pounds, and with that, the symptoms of PCOS came raging back with it. And so I went to 2 different doctors, and each of them said that you really need to lose weight or else you will suffer so many different problems in your future. So you really need to get this regulated right now. It felt like do or die for me at that point. So I did it, man. I buckled up and began my fitness journey, and years later, here I am. You know, I am jacked and quite healthy. So alhamdulillah for that. I will definitely have a separate video about my fitness journey, because I know a lot of you asked. So inshallah after Muharram I will get on that. But alhamdulillah, I did lose weight. I regulated my weight. But one thing, and a lot of you asked questions about this, that I could not control and cannot control to this day, is the excessive hair growth. Now, a lot of you had questions about the excessive hair and what I've done to control it. And simply put, I haven't really done much to control that part. Still living with that every day. TMI, but as you all know, it's a main symptom of PCOS. I'm very, very hairy. I was and am so insecure about my facial hair, mainly on the sides of my face, on my chin, and parts of my neck. At one point it felt like I had a beard, you know. I've tried shaving it, tried waxing it, and I'm privileged enough to say that I have undergone laser hair removal treatment on my neck. And thank God, like right now, my neck is pretty hair free. If I ever do get hair, it's very light, you can hardly see it, whatever. And now, as of right now, present day, the sides of my face and my chin are extremely bad, and with COVID, it's hard for me to go in for any kind of treatment. So I am having to wax it off right now, which brings me to my final point before I transition onto my next video, talking about how PCOS really affects the mental health of women, and how I deal with it as a South Asian woman living in this community and living with our culture. Waxing, it like leaves scars on my face. Waxing leaves scars on my face. It's like, there's redness there, there's swelling. But this condition, it makes me so insecure about myself as a woman. You know, it's really taxing on the on your mental health, your emotional health. You know, it's so tiring to have to deal with people's judgmental statements, you know, about how hairy you are, how fat you are, and all that stuff. You know, it's like we're dealing with demons on the inside, but it's also we're also dealing with statements like that from our society and our community. So I urge you all to please practice kindness. You know, we need more of it, especially us women. You know, we go through so much every single day. We're constantly targeted, harassed, you know, and we live with conditions like PCOS, which is so taxing on our bodies and our health. So please practice kindness and compassion and cultivate that empathy for women, because we need more of it. We really do. But anyway, sorry for getting emotional, but thank you for listening to this video. Tune in for my next video where I address more sensitive issues on mental health and as a South Asian woman living with PCOS.